Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we have a clear idea of what the next Grand Theft Auto Online update is going to be, thanks to some files that Rockstar have actually added in the last update. So this is certainly not the first time Rockstar has done this. We have seen this several times in the past, where in the update we just received, so in this case, Los Santos Tuners, they add, I don't know if hints are the right word, but they're putting things in the game that they need for future updates. And so when people find them, like data miners, it gives us a good idea of what to expect next. And that's exactly what happened the other day. So this is coming from Rockstar Games insider TezFunds2, who on Twitter and on the GTA forum site said this: there are new unused variables that provide functionality for nightclubs to work within a mission environment like contracts. This is likely reserved for the next update, so you can get an idea of the type of content we might receive next. Hashtag GTA Online. And there was more follow-up to that, because I know that's a little confusing. So someone said, so more contracts that involve the nightclub or some kind of heist set in a nightclub? And he said, yeah, more music-centric content, which isn't surprising given that Rockstar now has a music label. With more follow-up, someone asking, explain to me like I was 5, expect a mission where you visit a nightclub to do something, and basically it's the same as your own nightclub, but it belongs to some new character or some gang member / leader. And the last bit of follow-up coming from Robin Hood, who said, does this mean we're going to do other things besides free roam? The nightclubs will still be working in the background, and it will not just be limited to free roam. He said, no, it basically handles a nightclub in a mission environment. Rockstar can create a mission and have you visit a nightclub to steal something. They can select the style, dancer types, style, and lighting rig, etc. The nightclub could be owned to some new character or some gang. All right, so I know there was a lot to break down there, but let's talk about it. Right off the bat, it kind of sounds like the next update might be like After Hours 2.0. It's going to involve the nightclubs in some way, shape, or form. And we'll actually look at what those unused variables are in a little bit, but it looks like it might involve the nightclubs and a new type of heist. This would be really cool, or at least a mini type of heist. We've obviously seen Rockstar utilize existing buildings and facilities for heist missions in the game. Think of the Doomsday heist. Think of the Diamond Casino and Resort heist. I mean, they literally took a brand new building and just made a heist out of that. So that's pretty cool, and it looks like that is going to be the December 2021 update. And it is also not surprising that there's going to be more music-centric content around this. We saw this with the Music Locker and the Cayo Perico heist. We saw this with Los Santos Tuners and involving Moody Man and like the music sticks and whatnot. Music is going to be a big part of future Rockstar updates. I just think that's going to be the case. And as usual with big Rockstar updates, it looks like it's going to involve new characters or new locations, something like that. And in this instance, it might involve a new business too, which is kind of what we saw in the Los Santos Tuners update as well. A hybrid of like heist, business, free roam, quality of life stuff, all around nightclubs. And that's what it looks like the next update is all going to be about. Now, over on the GTA forum site, this is what he posted. He said, here's some interesting findings. Apparently, Rockstar added the following variables with the recent update. And you guys can see there, I'm not going to read all of them out loud. He said, I mentioned those variables earlier on when I was checking out the new stunt races added a long time ago. Anyhow, oddly enough, those variables weren't used with this update. It turns out those variables are pretty much tied with the After Hours nightclub. So you can get what the first 3 letters entails as in nightclub. These variables pretty much cover all, if not most, of the features of the nightclub and business hub. They can select the style, dancers, light rig, dry ice, etc. Basically, it adds functionality for handling nightclubs within a mission environment like contract missions or contracts. These variables are likely planned for the next update. It may explain why Rockstar decided to change some notifications for nightclubs and have English Dave send you messages instead. We'll take a look at those in a second. We may raid someone's nightclub or defend a nightclub, or maybe simply visiting someone's nightclub to collect something. Either way, it looks like the next update may feature more music-centered content, which isn't surprising. And really quickly getting to the changes about English Dave, TezFunds2 didn't know if this was due to fixing the bug regarding English Dave calling every 30 seconds, but instead you get text messages from English Dave. It says, go to the nightclub and access the computer in your office and an available DJ act at any time. And then it repeats the same thing, just with the Black Madonna, Tale of Us, Dixon, etc. And then you also receive text messages from English Dave. He said, bloody hell, mate, some of the best DJ acts in the world available to hire for your club, and you're sticking to the same old residency. A few clicks on your club's computer, all you need for some new blood on the decks. The next one is choice. It's overwhelming. All these DJ acts on your system, and you've stuck with the original G. Get on the computer, pick a new DJ, and embrace the change. Life is flow, boss. You know it's criminal you haven't hired Tale of Us yet. They would destroy a residency at your joint. Think on it, all right? Club computer, clickety-click, peace and joy. And he said, hey, you know your boy Dixon is still available for booking at the club. Just get on the computer there, and you can hire the professor himself. Feel the love. And then, all right. The Black Madonna just asked me what happened about that Los Santos residency. I said the club owner's still having a think. I think you should hire the girl. She's right there on the Blooming app. So those are the texts that you now get from English Dave instead of the phone calls. And I think that those are connected in some way, shape, or form. Again, we can see there that Rockstar now has the ability to change stuff within those nightclubs, and it's likely planned for a heist or a mission contract or a contact mission, something along those lines. And the last bit of follow-up comes from earlier today, where on the GTA forum site, TezFunds2 said this. Worth noting, the unused variables tied with nightclubs were found within the new stunt race Rockstar published back in May. One of those races was made on March 11th, and it still had those variables within its file. It could have been planned for a contract that got cut at the last minute, or it's planned for the next update. The added functionality to handle nightclubs within a mission doesn't really suggest After Hours Part 2. We have the new contracts that reuse clubhouses and even the meth lab. This simply allows them to customize the mission-specific nightclub to their liking. The interesting part is that the business hub is featured too, and now has 2 interior IDs. This would suggest that the main goal is to reach the business hub, whereas the nightclub simply serves as the entry by visiting as a guest and slipping through the crowd. Then all the shooting and chaos would occur in the business hub, which explains the addition of the new interior ID. It could be a cut contract, or it might just happen to be part of the bigger update that usually overshadows the summer update. Just like what happened when LS Summer Update released and a whole category of unused variables was added that we could only find out later on that it was reserved for Cayo Perico. If anything, this suggests Tuners Part 2. All right, so how about that? It might not be After Hours Part 2 after all. It could be Los Santos Tuners Part 2. And this would not be shocking considering that Rockstar considers this one of the most successful updates of all time in terms of player counts, and I'm sure in terms of how many shark cards that they've sold. But I could see Tuners Part 2 being cool, especially with all the cars that they ended up adding. They could add more of these contract robberies, which I know players have really been enjoying. They could update the exotic export stuff. They could do more things around the Los Santos car meet. I think players really enjoyed this update, so it would not be shocking if that's the case, and if one of those involved the nightclubs in some way, shape, or form. But it is worth noting that Rockstar, whatever they've been planning, was all the way back in March 11th. It could have been even longer than that because that's just when it was published. So I think this gives us a good idea of what the December 2021 update is going to be about. In some way, it's going to be like Tuners Part 2 with an after-hours vibe to it, which I would really like. I think the nightclubs are one of the best properties in business that Rockstar have added in the game, so them expanding on that would actually be very cool. But I would, of course, love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think of all the information we discussed in this video today regarding Rockstar and what it looks like they're doing for the next big update here in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.